Hey guys, my name is Melanie Ludy and welcome back to my channel. Recently, I started chemistry with my 7th grade students, and we were talking about chemical and physical properties. And I found this great worksheet as a PDF. And I was like, okay, that's fine. PDFs are not a big deal. But when I was looking at it, I was like, putting a PDF into any kind of Google thing it's not always the best. What else do I have that'll do PDFs? I was thinking about it. So then I realized we have Classkick. My school bought the Pro account, so I decided that I would use this assignment as a way to test out Classkick because a PDF is perfect for Classkick. So I'm going to talk to you about my experience with that. I'm going to show you how I made the assignment in Classkick, and I'm also going to show you how I would make it in Google Docs. Let's go. Before we get too crazy though, don't forget to hit that like button down below. It really lets me know how I'm doing with all of this. Also, hit that subscribe button so that you get updated with my latest videos. So first, let me show you how I would make that worksheet. So I'm in my Classkick. So first thing I'm gonna do is import my roster. So I'm gonna go rosters, import from Google. So sometimes it'll give you this message. It says that you are not logged in, even though my school is a Google account and I'm logged in with my school email. If it gives you this, you're just gonna log out and log back in. It'll fix it for you. So I'm logged back in. I'm still with my school account. It still says me, but this time when I go to rosters, add import from Google, it then brings up my classes that are connected with my school Google Classroom. So let me pick this one. Okay, so this is like a generic class. I don't think I actually have any students listed in that class, but you'll be able to get the idea of what I'm doing here. So let me go assignment now, and I will add an assignment. Let's go create from file. So I saved a PDF of the assignment that I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna go just find that PDF on my computer. So it's actually a 2-page document. The first page is the chemical and physical properties that I did with my class last week. I can't really show you the results of that because that's student data, but I can show you how I would make an activity just like it. So I'm gonna use this page, and I'm just gonna select, let's select just that. I had kids write their name at the top and that's a lot of work. Let's just cut it out so I can skip that step. So that's what I'm gonna want. I'm gonna add it as a new question. Next. All right. So I'm gonna only make this about 1 slide. You could add in tons of PDF pages if you like. So my school's math program is Eureka, and we also use Wit and Wisdom as our English program. I know that those teachers have full PDF copies of their textbooks. So they could add in a whole chapter if they wanted and just take certain images, cross out other ones. That would be great if you had a whole PDF version of your text that you liked and it was just, like questions. My text, I do have PDF available, but I really just don't use a lot of the questions and text in there. So it doesn't make sense for me to import it this way. I don't use it enough. All right, so then I would title it. So this one is, yes, chemical and physical changes. I don't really think this part is necessary, but I enjoy it anyway. We'll go chemistry, because technically it is, although it's, 8th grade, 7th grade. Private, only your students can access. If I had a co-teacher, that would be good, but we'll leave it private. I don't bother with the description. All right, assign a roster, this one. So I'm showing grades. When I click that, it'll show students their grades in that top right-hand corner. Helpers are allowed, so if one of the students asks for help, another student could go help them. I like that community part of it, so I definitely leave that on. This one hides assignments in case you don't want kids to do it, locked it if they're done. Here's the class code. So, view work. So they would have to log in with this code and then I could start grading it. Let me go edit here. Let me click on the actual slide. Okay, so, all right, read the following statements, classify as physical or chemical. All right, I'm gonna start crossing some of these out because I think, like this one, I think my kids will have a hard time with. This is a questionable thing, like a pellet of sodium. So sodium itself, unless it's like in oil, is gonna react with the air and it's gonna be pretty like explosive. So, but they don't know that, and like I don't like it as a question. I can't draw a straight line. I don't like that. That's the other thing, like I can add in text boxes for all of these things, but that's a lot. And like you can't, like Control C, if I do that, like it creates a text box, but it's like, I don't like it. I can't just like duplicate text boxes. Plus then it's all big and like it's click here to type and then I have like a million click here to types and like I don't like that. If I wanted, I could be this and I could add fill in the blank. And then I could add an answer for each one and like make it points that way. And like just keep doing that for all of us. I don't even know if that was chemical. The other thing is like I can erase my own marks, but if the kids write on it, I can't erase theirs. So I have to like go in and tell them all, hey, erase this one because this is wrong and put my correct answer. What's this? Add images that students can move and rotate. So like this word starter is a good example of that. I don't really need the manipulative though. What else do we got? Oh, this is the multiple choice. So you could select the correct answer, the points, and like you put that on like a multiple choice PDF kind of question that you would have. So again, I'm thinking like if you have a PDF of a text, like a test, with multiple choice, that would be great because then it's a self-grading form for you. However, you could always just make a Google form. Just throwing that out there. You can add in pictures, links, all this stuff. Add stickers. So stickers are really the best way to give you feedback. So here's where I could add stickers and it's basically just ways I could give feedback and it's like the comment bank on the teacher grading view of Google Classroom. Like if I use the same 3 kind of pieces of feedback, like show your work, make sure you restate the prompt in the question, things like that, then yeah, I would make these stickers and just have them as things that I use all the time. You can also add a background color. You could change it to big grid, little grid, Venn diagram, charts, all of this stuff. However you wanted to do it. It really does have a lot of options for you to make it personal. All right, once I am done editing this assignment, I would go to view work. When students log on, their name will come up in a little square. And when they're working, it'll tell you what question they are working on, as long as it's a question made with Classkick. So if I go here, like it'll tell me what, like if they're working on this question or this question, because those are elements of Classkick that I've added. It won't tell me if they're adding a text box. It won't tell me if they're writing just like a C for chemical. So that's one thing about the PDFs. Like if you add them as a giant image and you don't add in like these fill in the blank boxes, or like the multiple choice buttons, it's not really going to tell you what they're working on the slide. It's not like you can see their cursor and see what they're doing. That was one thing I didn't really like so much about Classkick. You can also view all slides, filters. So shrink thumbnails. Once I've graded everything, I usually shrink the thumbnail so then the scores show up all nice. Hide offline students. I don't like doing that because I want to know what kids are working and which ones are actually doing their work. Let's see. So then here comes the tricky part. So I want to assign this to my kids. So I can click the Share to Google Classroom button. It'll have me authenticate which user I am because I have a million Google Classrooms. I choose my class, create assignment. Okay, so I'm in my class, I've created my assignment. I still have to pick the class and I can pick multiple classes. Can I? I could pick multiple classes from here. I could set points, due date, and the topic. The problem is, this link is specific to my 703 WIN roster. So only students on that roster will have something come up for Classkick. So I could share this link with all 5 of my 7th grade classes, but then it's not organized by those classes. So I have the same assignment for all 100 kids in one place rather than separated by class. And it's alphabetical by that 70 plus kid list. So then I have to search through for my kids in 7A and pull their grades. And then I have to search through and pull my kids in 7B and their grades. It's much easier just to have a link for each class. But if you do that, each link is individual to each class. So you can hit this button 5 times for 5 classes, which is annoying. Or other option I could do is I could go into my classes, create an assignment that says, you know, Classkick for it's the 23rd, and then assign this to multiple classes, and then add the links afterwards because I'm just adding a link. If you wanted to add like a document or something, I would not do that because if you try to add the document after you've already created the assignment, it won't make a copy for each student. It'll just say view or they can all edit, which is not what you want most of the time. So I'm assigning this Classkick for both of these classes. And then I would copy link, put it in this one, edit, add link. And then if I made a different link for another class, I would have to go to that other class and add that link just like I did. That would be my best way to go about it. Create the bulk assignment in Google Classroom and then add individual links if you're gonna do Classkick. Final thoughts about Classkick here. So pros, if you have a PDF, it makes working with that PDF a lot easier because you can add in things like this fill in the blank, these text boxes, the multiple choice grid. All of that is great for a PDF. So students don't have to be able to fill out a PDF, but they can write over the image and they can't delete this image as students. So for math, I might even have it as like a show your work kind of thing. So if I did like 7x plus 3 equals, 17? Like I could put fill in the blank boxes for like what you would do here and what this number would be. And like then I could write like 14 and 7x. And like they could fill in these boxes and the boxes are self-correcting. So they'll tell the student that it's wrong so they can go back and fix it. If I was doing something like that, fill in the blank boxes would be great. Although I don't love writing in Classkick because I have to use this little pencil. Like, I can write better on mine because I have a touchscreen, but I know most of my students don't have that. So it's not gonna do them as much good. I also think it's good if you want them to add pictures, because they can use the camera, so they could like hold up their work on a whiteboard, take a picture of it and add it. Google Classroom does not have a lot of features that can do that, mostly because the school's security system won't let them upload images, which is kind of irritating. But this system is much better for that. It has a camera built in here. They could also add audio, so especially for your ESL students, your special education students, I could record audio directions for them, or they could record audio and send it back to me if like they have to prove they can read this sentence in 5 minutes or whatever it is. So let's talk things I don't like. Number one, I don't like that I have to add in a text box for all of this stuff. I don't like that I have to add in all of these extra things to fill this out. I don't like that I have to cross this stuff out, or I would have to crop it all, and that's a big pain. I don't like that I can't write on it. I don't like that I have to add each assignment individually, no matter how I do it in Google Classroom. Either I have to add every link individually, or I have to redo every assignment as I do it. That is annoying. I don't like that students' names don't stay the same. So if a student types their name wrong, it counts them as different students. Or if they say just their first name one day and then first last the next day, they're different students. It's highly annoying. I also don't like you can't export grades from here. If you go to view work, there is a slide, it says export grades. It exports them to, I think it's a XLS file. It's a Excel spreadsheet. Cool, except for that doesn't go into Google Classroom. So I still have to manually add all those things. I don't like that. So anything I do here, I have to then go back and double check with Google Classroom. It doesn't automatically update because they're not integrated. I also don't like that I can't see where the cursor is when they're on there. So I have no idea where you are on this worksheet, or if you're just like sitting at the top scrolling on your phone. Like, I can't tell. Whereas on a document, I can see the cursor at the top of the title, meaning you opened it and walked away, or I can see your cursor on question 2 trying to write something, like you're clearly working. I don't like that kind of thing. Yeah, I can see when they open it, but that's about it. Doesn't really do it for me. How would I do this in Google Classroom? Let's find out. All right, so I'm gonna make this activity and I'm gonna make it in, I think, Google Slides, just because I think I'm gonna do it like a drag and drop style, and I can use master slides so that they can't delete the images. I could also probably do it as a Google Doc, but I would have to do a lot more typing, and I don't know if I'm that motivated. Well, no, I wouldn't. Actually, let's do it in a Google Doc. So I love Google Slides because you have that master slide. So if you put an image as like the background of that master, students can't delete the image, and it's wonderful. I also like slides because you can drag and drop things. So like if I have red X's or red checks that I want them to put next to like chemical or physical, they can do that and just drag and move them. The problem with Google Slides is it doesn't track changes. So in the top here, it's editing, suggesting, or viewing. So when I'm looking at students' documents, it automatically puts me in suggestion. So if they make a mistake, I can delete their wrong answer and write the correct answer. So they can see what they did wrong and what it should be. In slides, I just delete their answer and I write the one it should be. They don't know that they had it wrong unless they go back and remember the answer they wrote. And if I put a comment on a slide, it just makes the slide ridiculously small. Let me show you what I mean. So as a teacher, if I add a comment to a slide, it makes it really small, and then it can be really hard to read. So like this one, it has a comment on it. It moves this over and it puts my comment in, so we go from this size to that size. And if you have a smaller screen, it makes it even smaller. It's not great. Plus, it's on the whole slide. It's not like all specific about what I want it to do. It's harder for them to know where it is. I like docs better because if I write a random sentence, stop. I can be really specific about what I don't like. Like, I want you to change that word to phrase. And then I could even do that. And then if I go into suggesting, I could even say, hey, make this phrase. And they can track changes and see how I'm making corrections. So I really prefer to work in Google Docs if possible, but slides sometimes just works better if I'm doing a drag and drop kind of activity. So let me show you how I would make this in Google Docs. Let me go back to editing. So I'm gonna open up my File Explorer and open up this PDF. All right, so then I'm gonna go down here to my snip and sketch. You could just take a general screenshot and then just like crop out all the stuff. This cuts down on a step because I can highlight just the part that I want rather than taking the whole screen. So snipping tool, yeah, it's moving to snip and sketch. So new, and then I just highlight the things I want. So we'll say this stuff, and then I can go copy. Where's my Google Doc? Here we go. Control V, there we go. Okay, so it's in here now. Now this is an image, so they can't write on it, but I could crop this a little bit. How many blanks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna crop this. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Make sure you grab the black bar, not the blue dot. It's annoying. There we go, crop. I've cropped this down. Now I'm gonna add a table. I counted 10 questions, so I need it 2 by 10. Insert table 2 by 10. Ready? I'm gonna merge all these, merge cells, and then I'm going to copy and paste this picture into here. Hey. We can move this guy over so we can make this a little bigger. All right, and then we can drag these. So how tall is this now? Wait a minute. Don't be foolish. So we highlight this, and then what we say is distribute rows, and then it'll evenly space all that. We don't even have to think about it. Perfect. And then I would add a direction up here. And then I always insert a 1-box table just so they know where to write. So basic activity, do they understand which one it's supposed to be? And then they have to support their answers to a couple of their choices to make it that higher order thinking question. I would prefer this. I can add comments to it, I can track changes, I can leave them a private comment, grade it, it all updates right there. So as much as I can use a Google program, I would like to. It's not quite as convenient as to just upload a PDF to Classkick. I would also argue that on Classkick, you have to add in these fill in the blanks, the click here to type. You would have to figure out how you want them to put like C or P, or if you want them to write it out, all of that. Then you have to go through, grade it, and then have a split screen. So like if I went here, view work, say someone was here, I did their grade. I have to have this over here, and then I'd have to have their classroom over here, with the, where is it? So like I'd have to have their class over here split screen, and then I'd have to put in the grade for each individual kid, assuming I didn't put the whole grade in one assignment, which is no, we're not doing that. So then I'd have to go like 98, and then I'd have to keep going down the list and hope they were in alphabetical order on my left so I could put them in that way on the right. Like you can, but that's a lot of extra work, and you have enough work as it is. If you want to see how I would make it into a Google slide, I will link my Google Slides video up above. All right, guys, that'll do it for this video on Classkick. Let me know down below, are you a Classkick person or a Google Classroom person? Thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.